From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Stephanie Woodard has the evening off. Our top story, a Barrow man is in custody charged with the first-degree murder of Assistant District Attorney Brian Sullivan. According to authorities, 47-year-old Ronald Fisher appeared in a Barrow courtroom this morning. Court documents say Fisher, who has a long history of assault and misconduct, shot Sullivan in a jealous rage inside a woman's home in Barrow. Fisher had purportedly been stalking the woman for months. She had even taken out a protective order against him, ordering him to stay at least 100 feet away from her. Sullivan, who is the DA in Barrow, was allegedly seeing the woman and was in her home when Fisher entered and reportedly shot him with a shotgun. Fisher is being held on a $500,000 bail plus the condition of a third-party custodian. A North Pole man was sentenced to 2 years jail time for the 2013 rape and assault of his wife. 48-year-old George Alarak pleaded guilty to reduced charges as part of a plea deal and was sentenced yesterday in front of Superior Court Judge Jane Kovar. Court documents say that in July of 2013, Alarak had raped his wife and assaulted her with an axe. Yesterday, the charge of sexual assault was dismissed, with Alarak pleading guilty to 2 counts of third-degree felony assault. Alarak was ordered to serve 8 years probation on top of his jail time and surrender the weapon to authorities. He will also serve 50 hours of community service. Medical records say that during the assault, the unidentified woman's ribs were broken. However, the court reviewed the medical records and found no mention of the sexual assault by the victim.
It wasn't actually what was said in the records, but what was not said in the records. Because having reviewed every page of the records, at no time was there in fact a mention. There was mention of the assault for which he pled. And so that was the basis of the court distributing some of the records, which was a little bit different because it really was actually showing the absence of something rather than the presence of something.
A Fairbanks man is facing felony charges after authorities say he pulled a gun on a woman while driving down the Johansson Expressway. 36-year-old Russell Noonan is charged with 3rd and 4th degree assault in the December 8th incident. An affidavit states the female victim was forced into Noonan's truck. The victim said Noonan then pulled a gun on her while driving. The victim jumped from his moving truck and landed on the side of the highway. Troopers were able to locate the victim after motorists reported seeing her leap from the vehicle on the Johansson. She was taken to the hospital for treatment of her injuries. Noonan was arrested and taken to Fairbanks Correctional Center. Well, last October, we reported that Fairbanks area firefighters were receiving training on how to deal with butane hash oil explosions. The trainer was from Colorado, where marijuana is legal, and he was teaching local firefighters how to deal with the new danger. He said that people in Colorado buy the marijuana legally, then treat it to be more potent. The danger comes during that processing, and it appears the practice may already be happening here. On Monday night, North Pole Police requested help from the State Drug Enforcement Unit at a house fire on Fennell Street. Investigators say it appears an individual was trying to make hash oil from cannabis when there was an explosion in the kitchen. No injuries were reported, and the investigation is continuing. It was definitely festive yesterday at the Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce annual membership meeting. Not even Santa himself wanted to miss the winner of the Bill Stroker Business of the Year Award. 3 local businesses were nominated: a craft brew company called Hoodoo, a ground and air tour company called Northern Alaska Tours, and a group of radio stations under the name Last Frontier Media Active. Each business is nominated for their community involvement and leadership in their industry. This year's winner is Northern Alaska Tour Company. Executive Director of the Chamber, Lisa Herbert, was proud to give the award to an Alaska-owned company that serves as a hub to our northern neighbors.
Honor to present the award to one of the co-owners of the business. It was started back in 1987 and by 3 college students who really just wanted to make the visitor industry something special here in Interior and recognize the traditions and the culture that Alaska people have.
It is really quite an honor because this is an esteemed group, and it's a who's who of Fairbanks, and it's fun to see all these people and be recognized in front of them.
All right, when we come back, the Salvation Army continues to get ready to help out families during Christmas time, and youngsters in rural Alaska experience Operation Santa Claus. Stay with us. And welcome back. The Salvation Army is trying to make it so that no families go without holiday cheer this Christmas. They want to remind families that the deadline for gift and food donations this season is fast approaching. The local nonprofit organization wants to serve approximately 300 households in need of assistance. They say that families have until 3 p.m. this Friday to sign up for help. Volunteers will then distribute gifts and food the week after the deadline. Applications may be picked up and submitted at the Salvation Army Family Service Office at 2222 South Cushman Street. Corps Officer Kevin Botchin says that those applying will need to provide documentation before they are accepted.
You need to have photo ID for all the adults on the application, and you need to have child verification, which is a birth certificate or a Denali Kid Care certificate of some sort. Also need proof of income and proof of address. You bring that down, you'll be set. You'll go down, get that application, and we'll be able to assist you if there's any way possible.
Students from the University of Alaska Fairbanks hosted a traditional Alaska Native potluck as a requirement for their class. Now, the class is called Alaska Native Values and Principles, which is presented by the university's Rural Human Services Department. The students taking the class mostly come from rural villages across the state. Now, what makes the class so different from traditional university-style teachings is the addition of Alaska Native elders who share their culture in a classroom environment. The students were instructed to cook and present their favorite foods for the potluck. Athabascan elder Elizabeth Flegel says that the program is meant to teach university students to appreciate their cultural heritage.
And not lose our cultural, like a lot of them are doing beadwork, you know, and I taught one, and she just sits there all day now. She's making so much stuff that she's never done before.
The stuff that was there but dormant, but after going through this course a few times, and it kind of reopened everything up and make me become reattached to my cultural history.
Hundreds of children living in Alaska villages have celebrated the 58th annual Operation Santa Claus. Monty Bowen has details now in this week's Military Report.
Operation Santa Claus is part of the Alaska National Guard's yearly community relations and support program that provides toys, clothing, books, school supplies, fresh fruit, and sundaes to youngsters in communities across the state.
Toys, books, school supplies, fresh fruit, and sundaes to about 300 children in the village.
They traveled to Shishmaref on December 6th.
To have someone come in and bring gifts probably wouldn't happen. You know, there's not a lot of income here, so people don't have money to order gifts offline and then have them shipped here and all of that. It's just a lot. So it's a big thing.
The program brings Santa and his elves to rural Alaska villages on a variety of sleighs, including a C-130 Hercules and a Black Hawk helicopter. The Alaska Air Guard originally started Operation Santa Claus in 1956 as a result of a request from St. Mary's Mission for toys for their children. Throughout the years, other villages, schools, and groups have invited Operation Santa Claus to their communities.
This is really excited because it's great for the children to get a chance to see Santa and get all the nice presents and the books and ice cream.
This is Bonnie Bowen reporting.
The Military Report is brought to you by Stanley Nissan. Innovation for all.
Alrighty then, Joe Cook is up next with news on the Alaska Sports Hall of Fame class of 2015, plus hockey highlights, a high school basketball team preview, and more after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here to help you get you over the hump with some local sports this Wednesday. This week, the Alaska Sports Hall of Fame announced the class for 2015. One of the inductees has ties to Fairbanks. In the event category, the Iron Dog will be inducted into the Alaska Sports Hall. The Iron Dog snow machine race spans over 2,000 miles and is known as the longest and toughest snow machine race in the world. The event started in 1984. It starts in Big Lake, then heads to Nome before finishing right in downtown Fairbanks. Along with the Iron Dog event, John Brown, Nancy Pease, Dick Mize, and Michaela Hutchison round out the 2015 class. Mize is a pioneer in Nordic skiing and a former Olympic biathlete. Pease is a 6-time Mount Marathon winner. John Brown was an undersized forward who dominated for Ketchikan during their 4-year reign in basketball in the mid-1960s. Hutchison became the first female wrestler to win a state title over a boy in 2006 and will be inducted in the moment category. The Fairbanks Ice Dogs continue their road trip this weekend. They visit the Minnesota Magicians. The Magicians snapped their 10-game losing streak with a 4-3 shootout win over the Minnesota Wilderness. Fairbanks swept the Magicians right before Thanksgiving. The Ice Dogs are coming off a 2-game skid in Wenatchee. Last time the Ice Dogs lost 2 games in a row, they responded with 3 straight wins. The Ice Dogs are 3rd in the NHL with an 18-8-3 record and still lead the Midwest. Chandler Maudry leads the league in scoring with 42 points. Jacob Hetz, he's tied for 3rd in the league in scoring and in goals. He was honorable mention for Forward of the Month. In November, Hetz put up 6 goals and 5 assists in 8 games. It'll be a split series. The Ice Dogs will play the Magicians on Thursday, and then they will have game 2 on Saturday. On Friday, the Magicians will play at the Austin Bruins. Sticking with hockey, the high school kids met on the ice Tuesday afternoon. The Lathrop Malamutes hosted the North Pole Patriots in the Big Dipper. This game was just back and forth. Carmine Teal, he got the Pats on the board first. The Glenn Glassaway, he got one in off the rebound for Lathrop to square things. Then Cam Walker, he answered a North Pole goal by Dylan Latham to square things again at 2-all late in the second period. But with 2:15 left, junior forward Dylan Latham, he scored the game winner for the Patriots. He had 2 scores in this one. North Pole gets the 3-2 victory. It's North Pole's 3rd win in 4 games. They move into first place in the MAC with the win. They are 6-3 overall. Lathrop drops to 3-8. Now Lathrop, they canceled tonight's game against Delta due to a number of player injuries. They are scheduled to play rival West Valley Friday night at the Dipper. The Pats will host the Rams on Thursday at the Polar Ice Center. We continue our high school basketball team previews with the boys team from the West Side. Here's more on the West Valley Wolfpack.
Coming into the 2014-2015 season, the West Valley Wolfpack have been working all off-season. The team has been playing in various tournaments and camps and recently won an ACS preseason tournament. Senior guard Charles Suttoff sees that his team has really improved in a lot of areas.
I feel like we've matured a lot more. We've been working harder this offseason because now we know what it takes to go to state, and now we want to get a higher place, and we're going for state championship this year.
We got a couple guys that came up from JV last year, like Isaiah Winfrey and D'Lo Garcia and Makai, and so they push us like us starters, us varsity players are going to get a lot of minutes. They push us in practice, make us want to get better, make us go all out the whole time in sprints and layups and anything we do. So just being able to compete in practice is what's going to help us out a lot.
The Pack finished 4th in the state tournament a season ago. This year's team is a little bit younger with 3 seniors and a number of JV players moving up, but they still want to improve their standing amongst the elite 4A teams. 3rd-year head coach Kamani Shotwell believes it's time for this program to contend for state titles.
With this group of kids, it's important to remind them that that's what we're doing, and so that's what we're competing for. We still got a good conference. We have a really tough schedule. I made sure that I scheduled the toughest possible schedule to make us prepared for postseason play, whether that be regionals, if we make it to state.
West Valley will open their basketball schedule at home against the Chugiak Mustangs at 12:30 this Saturday.
And we end tonight's sportscast with the Pro Football Challenge winner. The winner for Week 14 is 907 Papa. I like that name. Congrats, 907 Papa. You get an oil change courtesy of Stanley Nissan. Papa only missed 2 picks in Week 14. And then we have a new number 1 in the PFC standings. Dellengrud leads by a point with 142 points. 3 people are tied for 2nd, including True Grit 69, who's been leading all season. I had a good week, just missing 3 picks, but Mike Schultz, he still leads me by 10 points. So you can make your picks on Webster11.com. Thursday's game is Arizona against St. Louis. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your forward weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello everyone, welcome back into our Wednesday night newscast. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about the weather. We have a little snow shower activity going on out there, reducing visibility in places and also making the roads a little slicker. So keep that in mind while you're out and about driving around. We're not expecting a lot of accumulation, maybe half an inch or an inch at the most. That's about it. We'll talk more weather in just a little bit. Our photograph tonight, oh, this is beautiful. This was taken by Alicia Libby. Libby, she was at the Christmas in Ice in North Pole. This is just one of the many sculptures they have there. A Star is Born, and just gorgeous photograph there, nice colors. And as always, if you have a photograph to share, especially if it's Christmas time, we have something you want to share that's Christmas oriented, by all means send it to photos at ktvf11.com. Gorgeous colors, look at that. Here's your numbers right now at the airport. 10 degrees after a high today. Well, that's our high actually, 10 degrees. The low last night, 8, a little snow falling, a record high 45. That was in 1940, 55 below in 1935. What a change in temperatures. Sunrise and sunset, Not quite 4 hours of daylight, and that's a loss of 3 minutes from yesterday. What's going on our satellite and radar? A big storm moving across southeast Alaska. It's not going to really make it into our neck of the woods much. We're just getting little pockets of moisture moving through. One of those stabilized across the area and gave us a little bit of light snow that's falling right now, but it should be moving on through, and like I said, not too much expected. What else is going on across the rest of the state? Well, there's the rain falling across southeast Alaska from Ketchikan to Juneau. Not too bad in Anchorage, mainly just partly cloudy skies there. A little shower activity around the Kodiak region. Along the Aleutian chain, it's cloudy at Cold Bay. Up and down the west coast, once again, clear to partly cloudy skies. Nome checking in with 14 degrees. Barrow, 10 degrees below zero, cloudy skies. Fort Yukon, partly cloudy and 1 degree. Lower 48 weather, again, more rain falling across the Pacific Northwest, and it's going to get a lot worse. It's a major storm that's moving in there. We'll show you that in just a little bit. Rain has moved back in over Texas and over the Central Plains. Things are not too bad. Minnesota, cloudy skies for the most part. Lots of rain and snow across the Northeast. We talked about it last night, and here's what it is. The storm system cranking up, the pink indicating where frozen precipitation is at, the blue snow and the green rain, and all the rain has moved out of the picture. It's all turned to snow with rain. There's the rain falling across Texas. And out to the west coast, a new monster storm moving ashore, bringing with it very heavy rain and wind. And widespread flash flooding is going to be possible. Rain's expected to be 3 to 5 inches in the Bay Area, 1 to 3 inches down over Southern California. And the jet stream from yesterday has changed a little bit for this weekend. It takes a little bit of a dip down to the south, bringing the cooler air in from the north, and then rises back again as things start to clear out over the eastern half of the country. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like. And you can see fog and clouds expected at Barrow, mostly cloudy skies at Nome, and a few snow showers in the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at scattered snow showers, maybe a little better chance of snow around the Healy area, and temperatures chilling out about 10 degrees, not too bad. Over southeast Alaska, the rains will continue, some of those heavy at times, across Ketchikan and Juneau. Well, out to the southwest, looking at, for the most part, showers for Cold Bay, scattered showers for Kodiak, and scattered snow showers for Bethel. And around the south central sections, cloudy skies for Homer and Anchorage, and mostly sunny skies in Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. All this week we're talking with the kids from Nordale Elementary School. Here's a young lady tonight with a weather question for me.
Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm in Miss Torgerson's 5th grade at Nordale Elementary. And this is my question for the weatherman. What is the highest amount of snow ever recorded?
Well, Natalie, the world's record is 95 feet of snow in 1964 at Mount Baker, Washington. Here in Alaska, only 81 feet down near the Valdez area in 1958. A lot of snow. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. And tomorrow night, the teacher will be here with a really interesting weather fact. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. We're going to have those snow showers around 6 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast looking at the snow showers moving out about 10 degrees and 10 days left until we start getting our daylight back. That's a good thing to celebrate. The forecast for the 5-day period looking at temperatures slowly rising by Monday, 15 degrees, and then cooling off a little bit. Overnight lows will also be slowly warming up, and the snow showers should be moving out of the picture by Friday into the weekend. Things are looking at partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies, but again, temperatures unbelievable, guys.
Well, that's quite a turnaround, actually, from 14 below Friday overnight into 15 above by the weekend.
Well, yeah,
I'll feel it.
Yeah.
I know hockey fans will feel it as the Nana's taking on Alabama Huntsville Friday night. So bundle up before you go to the Carlson Center.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of wintertime sports, how are the ski trails for interior skiers?
I think it will be pretty good. A lot of the teams, they're going to be away. I know a number of teams go down in Kincaid Park this weekend for a town series down there, some of the high schoolers. But I would think with some of this recent snowfall, it's got to be pretty good.
Cross-country trails are great here in the local area. And like I said, for downhill skiing, all the resorts are open, except for Skiland. They're going to wait until the 27th, I think.
27th of December.
December, yeah.
Okay.
To open up.
Oh, well, good. That's still holiday weekend.
Oh,
so
yeah. Plenty of
cool.
time.
Yep.
Get out and try those new skis.
Very good. All right.
The wax out.
That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell reveals the league's new personal conduct rules. That's next with Brian Williams.
Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a great night.